Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to Super Breakfast Friends Club.
I was gonna say something and it just slipped away. You so rarely give me a chance that I don't even consider it an option anymore.
Well, I gotta switch it up sometimes, because sometimes...
Yeah, so then we both look like fools.
Yeah, sometimes when I don't give you a chance, that's when you have something to say.
Yeah. We're never on the same page.
We've never been on the same page a day in our lives.
Yeah. That's why this show exists. It's just us fighting for an hour.
I'm Mike.
I'm not.
And, play the theme song. That's what we do. It's Medabots.
Yeah. I was so close to saying Donkey Kong Country that you probably expected it to be Donkey Kong Country.
I did expect it to be Donkey Kong Country. I am surprised that I decided to give you the option.
Oh, how kind of you. You owed me after making me watch Animal Crossing.
You liked parts of it.
I didn't hate it. I would never watch it again.
No, me neither, but I'm glad I've finally seen it. But you know what I'm more glad I've finally seen?
Medabots?
Episode 3 of Medabots.
Yeah, because this show is good.
Yeah, I keep forgetting how much I like it until I'm watching it and having a blast.
I don't know why I've been thinking about it so much recently, so when you were so gracious to let me pick an episode, I was like, it's Medabots time.
Yeah, it's fun. It's good. I really enjoy it every time we watch it.
Yeah, it's a good show.
So we watched the 3rd episode, which is called A Man's Dream is a Strong Body.
Is that true?
I've never really thought about it. So I'm going to say no.
Oh, well now I feel betrayed.
Well, there's only one man even in this show who had that dream, I feel like.
I feel like there's only one man in this show.
I also feel like that title isn't super appropriate for the episode, but whatever. It was written by Masashi Sogo, who wrote often for Yu-Gi-Oh!, Tokyo Mew Mew, Digimon Ghost Game, and Fairy Tail, among many other things. But I believe this is our first time seeing their work.
I've seen Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think no. Does Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged count?
No.
That's all I've seen.
Because that wasn't written by that guy.
Well, technically neither was the dub. So unless you've watched the original subtitled Japanese version.
Oh my god, I'm hanging up.
The dub's very different, right? Don't they have fingers instead of guns?
Listen, just because 4Kids got their grubby mitts all over it.
Don't people go to the Shadow Realm instead of dying?
That happens in real life.
What is death if not the Shadow Realm?
Exactly. We just have to go find Grandpa in the Shadow Realm and bring him back.
Ask him where he left the remote.
Yeah.
This episode aired in Japan on July 16th, 1999. The very day before my I think 13th birthday. I think that's
Why do you have to make it all about you?
because that's very specific.
Very specifically not your birthday?
I was thinking about it, and if this show had aired then in English, I probably would have gotten into it. Like if I was 12 when this show started, I probably would have watched it. But we didn't get it in English until 2 years later, so I was 15 and I
was an adult by then. I was above such childish media.
I was still watching Pokemon, but I just wasn't getting into new child media. I continued to enjoy all of the child media that came out when I was a child. I wasn't hunting out new ones. I was watching sitcoms instead, I think, mostly.
You're in your Frasier era?
I was watching a lot. No, Frasier. I guess I watched Frasier a bit when it was coming out. Mostly I got into Frasier when I was an adult working a night shift. Well, I say adult. I guess I was like 18. But
It's not a real adult.
yeah, I was working a night shift and when I got home, Frasier was just on at like 7 in the morning. So I would watch it. Now, when I was 15, I was mostly watching Friends, I think. Maybe Scrubs as well. Scrubs might have been a bit later. I can't remember. Anyway, this episode opens with the Screws training to beat Iki when Otokoyama appears. Did you remember Otokoyama?
No, I didn't. And then I did.
We were briefly introduced to him in the previous episode where we learned that his name basically translates to Man Mountain.
Yeah. That's exactly what he is.
Yeah. He's found them having a row battle on a nice sunny day and he's disappointed. So he insists that they enjoy the day training. And I love the fact that he's being nice and it's just his demeanor that terrifies them.
I mean, he's not really being nice.
I mean, he thinks he is.
I don't know. I don't think forcing somebody to run 500 laps around the schoolyard is... Anybody thinks that's nice.
Well, the way he always talks about it is like he's helping them enjoy their youth. I think that's really the way he sees it. It's like you're wasting your beautiful summer days with your Medabots. Come, let's enjoy our summer days sweating it out on the track together.
That's not how I would ever enjoy a summer day.
No, but it's definitely how he would. So he has them run 100 laps around the schoolyard. And Iki and Arika are watching this. And Iki says it's their own fault for bringing their Medabots to school. And he'd never do something so stupid.
No, his Medabot brings himself to school.
Yeah, that's the exact moment that Metabee calls out to him from the school gate. It was really good comic timing. I loved it. Like everything about how this plays out, like the way Iki runs over there and shoves him against the wall, or Tokoyama just like starting to turn and look. It's very good. I really liked it. I love the way this show looks.
Yeah. It's a good era of animation.
Yeah, this is my favorite era of anime, where it's like they've reached a very comfortable, like technical level, but it's still got that rough hand-drawn quality to it.
It doesn't have that weird, uncanny smoothness that a lot of them do now.
Yeah.
Where it's like they look very technically impressive, but I'm like, something's just not right, though.
And there's like a warmth to it, right?
Yeah.
Where this is still on film, it has this warmer kind of color palette that's bestowed on it by that, I guess. It's just so nice to look at. So Iki and Arika manage to get Metabee out of there before Otokoyama ropes them into the exercise. And then take him to that bridge that we keep seeing. I think this is where he found the medal in the first place, right?
Yeah.
From this bridge. They tell Metabee stories about their teacher. Mostly rumors.
Yeah. The kind of over-exaggerated rumor that everybody had at some point in elementary school.
Yeah, but I could believe most of these ones.
I don't know about that.
Well, I could believe that he moved all the boulders to the shrine single-handedly.
Not that he won a fight against 50 men in Africa.
Well, they say that he beat 50 men in a row. It might not all have been at once. It might have been a tournament.
What about when he stopped a volcano from erupting?
I believe it.
You'd be that gullible kid that's like, wow, you're right, he must have done that.
Yeah, Metabe's excited by the stories, but he's disappointed to learn that Otokoyama hates Medabots because he wants to get to know him now.
What? I mean, they should still be able to be friendly if they're not having a row battle, right?
I think the problem is that Otokoyama doesn't necessarily view Medabots as, people, I guess.
Clankers, I gotcha.
Yeah, it's like, these things don't sweat, they can't build muscle mass. I can't relate to them.
You can't punish them by having them run around the school.
Yeah. The next day, Otokoyama's giving them back the results of a test that they've taken. He says the average result was 60, but anyone who scored under 30 has to stay behind with him for club activities.
Club activities and heavy quotation marks.
And Iki scored a 25.
Typical.
We don't see what the screws got, but based on their reactions, they clearly got under 30 as well.
Based on the fact that they're out there sweating again.
That too, yeah. As they're running around the schoolyard, Iki questions the logic in what they're doing, and Otokoyama sprints to him.
That was funny.
It's
I
great. He sprints over to explain himself.
Well, first he snaps that tension thing he's been pulling this entire episode, and then he bolts over.
Yeah. He gives them 100 more laps to do, heads to the teacher's lounge to drink some iced tea.
But he never comes back.
He never comes back. And Arika
He's
finds Metabe's watching from a tree. He snuck into the school so he can watch what's going on. And I liked when she's like, "When you told not to come here?" And he's like, "Nobody tells me what to do." After all the training is done and the sun's going down, the screws notice Otokoyama is talking with some shady guys at the school gate.
Shady guys in fancy suits.
Yeah, that's code for Yakuza. The next day, Iki's just being chased through the halls by the screws, and we're not told why, but it feels completely natural.
And probably because he's the reason they had to run so much more.
Oh, I feel like there's a lot of reasons that this could be happening.
I think it's directly related to the previous scene.
He's been at odds with the screws since episode 1.
Yeah, but they're not like real enemies.
No, they're more like rivals. Otokoyama catches them running in the halls and is like, "This isn't the right place to run." So he takes them outside to run.
He runs into his massive body.
Yeah. He runs with them this time when he takes them out there.
It feels more like a chase.
I think he feels like he's running with them and they feel like they're being chased. That feels like the dynamic they have this whole time, where they're running and screaming and he's like, "Ha, we're having fun."
Yeah. Get out all that youthful energy.
And Iki finds himself falling asleep in class, drops his pen, which Otokoyama slips on, and falls straight towards Kikuhime, who blocks him with her desk. And then they all go outside to do push-ups to increase their endurance.
If they can't stay asleep, obviously it's because there's not enough push-ups in their life.
They can't stay awake, you mean?
No.
Okay. Either one works. Then they're serving food in the cafeteria, and Iki drifts off again, pouring hot soup on someone's hand. And of course, that someone is Otokoyama.
You already know every single person that gets hit by these is going to be Otokoyama.
Yep. So that leads to them doing pull-ups. And then I'm not sure why Iki had a bucket of water in the school. Were they just cleaning up?
He was probably on, cleanup duty.
Yeah, probably. I figured probably that was what it was, but we're not told at all.
Well, I'm sure Japanese kids didn't have to be told, because they understood that he's mopping after school or something.
Probably. Like, he bumps into the screws with his bucket of water and they share an awkward, like, exhausted moment of camaraderie. but then he slips and drops the bucket all the way down the stairs onto Otokoyama, and they all get sent to run again.
Yeah, I don't know why the screws got involved in that one.
Guess just because they were there. So Metabi's carrying Iki home because he's too exhausted to walk. And they spot Otokoyama counting a wad of bills and looking shady in the streets.
Yeah, he did go out of his way to look especially shady.
Yeah, he's got sunglasses on.
Yeah, like a big coat.
Maybe that's just how he dresses when he's off duty.
You know it isn't.
At school, Arika is looking to record someone running, which I assume is Otokoyama, but I feel like that wasn't made.
It wasn't clear if it was Otokoyama or Iki.
The fact that she said something about whoever it was looking gallant while they run makes me think it was not Iki.
True.
But she sees something else. We don't find out what yet because of the ad break interrupting.
You think if the ad wasn't there, we would already know?
Yeah, of course.
That's how it works.
Or they wouldn't need to keep us in suspense to make sure we come back after the commercials. Now we're at the 24 Hop Mart, where Iki and the Screws are complaining to Hikaru about their problems with Otokoyama. Hikaru has a very small role in this episode. It almost felt like he didn't need to be there at all.
No, he didn't. It's just to remind us that he's ever present.
Yeah. Do you remember what his deal was?
Yeah.
I didn't. He's the main character of the original game for anybody else who didn't. So this show's based on Medabots 2, but I think this is the first episode we've watched that wasn't directly adapting events from the game.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, the first 2 episodes were both adapting actual things that happen in the game, but as far as I can tell, Otokoyama doesn't exist in the game, and this is an original story for the show.
Otokoyama should be the legacy of this show. They should do another Medabots, and he should be in it.
You know, he might have been in the Game Boy Advance version. I'll look that up when we get near the end. Remind me.
Sure, that's gonna happen.
I'll put a note at the end of my notes here. So anyway, Arika runs in with the video that she recorded at school. And it's a video of Otokoyama commanding a Medabot to punch a wall.
How could he?
Yeah. It's not really clear why or what's happening.
Or even what Medabot it is.
Yeah. But the kids all trade stories about the shady things they've seen him doing lately, and Arika gets excited at the prospect of there being a scandal to expose. And the kids are all ready. They all want to go expose their teacher in his shady dealings.
I mean, I would too if he made me have to keep exercising.
So they start stalking him through the streets after school, and they end up in the city at night in an area their parents have forbidden them to go to. So it's heavily implied that this is the red light district of the city.
There's a lot of drunk salarymen.
Yeah.
Some punks.
Yeah. A drag queen, I guess.
I guess.
Not completely clear, but that seems to be the implication. So yeah, they follow him into an alley where they bump into this. Looks like a woman, but is played by a man, and they refer to it as a strange fellow or something as they run away. Drunk salarymen try to get them to come to karaoke with them. And then there's a fired man who starts saying a lot of complicated things that the kids don't understand. And I went looking to see if I could find out what the background text in this part says, because as he's talking, there's loads of Japanese text in the background behind him. And there's a ton of stuff written there. It's all things along the lines of stock market crash and unemployment rate increase and home loan and things like that.
There was something I had read in the very limited things that I could read that implied it was stock market, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was, though.
Iki, Arika, and Metabi end up separated from the Screws with no idea where Otokoyama went, but they find him engaging in a row battle against a megaphant that belongs to the shady men he met with a few days ago. And this is where we learned that Otokoyama's Medabot is called Digmole.
Digmole. And he sucks.
He sucks. He's already losing when they arrive.
Digmole's made up of doo-doo pieces.
The Yakuza boss guy here is played by Yuji Kishi, who is best known as the voice of Ken in the Street Fighter series. I could not find out who the English voice was.
He simply does not have one.
Yeah. Otokoyama tells Iki and Arika to leave, but the gangsters and some local kids tell them the story of what's actually going on here.
Yeah, a bunch of local kids much younger than Iki and Erika show up that are out this late at night.
Well, they live in the neighborhood.
But still, like, Kikuhime earlier had made it explicitly clear that her mother had terrified her with stories of Oni coming down from the mountains at night. So you would think most kids were terrified by their parents.
Yeah, but not if they live here.
I don't know.
Like, what are their parents gonna... Their parents are gonna be like, you can't be in your own neighborhood because it's terrifying and full of ghosts.
If it's 10 o'clock at night, you don't want your 5-year-old kid out in the city alone. Yeah, you tell them it's terrifying and full of ghosts.
That's not what stopped me from going outside when I was a kid and it was 10 o'clock at night.
Nothing stopped you.
No, nothing did. I just went to bed because it was 10 o'clock at night.
Well, then your story is irrelevant. You're just bringing it up just for no reason. We're talking about 5-year-olds.
I just don't think that the way to stop a 5-year-old from being outside late at night is to tell them there's ghosts out there. If that was me...
It is a proud Japanese tradition to terrify your children into good behavior.
If you were that young and you thought that right outside your house was full of ghosts, wouldn't you just be up all night worrying they were going to get in?
No.
Oh.
There's so many rituals to keep things out where they belong. You can have talismans. Maybe you burn incense or something. There's always something that makes your house safe. You just gotta keep the kids inside. You gotta keep them scared of the nighttime.
All right. Well, if they live in this area, maybe their parents are working right now. You know what? If I was friends with Otokoyama, no ghost would frighten me if he was around.
But how would you know that he was out tonight? Unless you were already...
They probably saw him from their window.
But they felt the ground tremble and they knew that he was on his way.
No, I mean, I assume they live very close. They could probably just see him. They probably looked out the window and they were like...
very close.
I'm pretty
sure. It's a city. You think it's like a mega structure where everybody lives in one giant building?
No, but they're talking about this area. I assumed they were battling... So, okay, the story is... These kids, there's no parks nearby, so these kids have nowhere to play. So Otokoyama saved up money to buy a plot of land to build one. But these shady guys were going to outbid him for it, so he challenged them to a row battle for the land. And that's what's happening here.
He was going to build a pink slide and a white swing.
He was. And he was going to plant tulips all around it. It's very sweet. But this, I feel like it was implied that they are having the battle on the land that he was going to build the park on.
Yeah.
So these kids have to live close.
Sure, but not close enough that they are just like looking outside, waiting for Otokoyama to pass in the night.
Well, then what's your explanation?
That it's a cartoon.
You're the one who's asking for an explanation. Ugh. Anyway, so because all his money was going towards the park, Otokoyama couldn't buy a very good Medabot to fight them. And he couldn't even buy himself much to eat, which is why he collapsed during the fight, because he's hungry. Arika thinks his whole park story is really cliched, but Iki and Metabi have both been moved to tears by it.
Yeah, why is she being so harsh about it? He's doing a good thing.
I know. I think she was... She's
a jaded journalist.
I think she was just lampshading it for the writer. I think the writer was just like, I've written something very hammy and cliche here, so let's have a character lampshade there.
I think she's just a jaded journalist. She's like, I can't sell this story to anyone.
This is a great story. She should be beside herself.
Well, she's clearly looking for some kind of like.
She wanted the
she's
scandal.
looking for the shady Yakuza build, business.
Yeah, it's not as juicy as the scandal that she wanted, I suppose.
A heartwarming story is not going to sell as many copies as true crime.
Yeah, as our teacher is into some criminal activity.
Right.
Digmole is defeated. We see Otokoyama's Medabots readout which has a lot of information about Digmole on it, but my favorite thing was the errors.
Yeah.
Digmole's skills are cover up, trap buster, barrier buster, and shovel. But those last two are misspelled as Varia Buster and Shorvel.
Excuse me, you've never gone outside and shorveled something?
No. But that same mistake exists in Metroid. You know Samus's suit?
Yeah.
It's called the Varia suit. But that's a mistranslation of what the intended name was, which is the barrier suit.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that Shorvel was.
Yeah, Samus has a shorvel. She's always shorveling.
It's one of the power-ups that you can get, the Shorvel.
Yeah, plasma beam, missile, and shorvel.
Yeah, that way you can go down somewhere for some reason.
Yeah, so Otokoyama gives up, and the shady guy's disappointed because the fight was no good. But then he sees the look in Iki's eyes, and he offers to let him battle in his teacher's place. And Otokoyama tells him not to, but Iki and Metabee are both fired up, so they do it. And Mr. Referee appears from a pipe like Mario.
Good.
To explain the rules.
No episode is complete without Mr. Referee.
Yeah,
he's my favorite character.
I for some reason wasn't expecting him, even though it's been consistent every time.
Even though he'll pop up in a wetsuit just to make his entrance.
That was the best one so far.
Yeah.
We had to wait while he got changed. So Megafant is like a weird elephant robot. Both of its arm parts have shields on it, so it uses them to block attacks.
It's like playing as Goofy in Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, except Goofy doesn't have a ball on a chain that he swings with his nose.
No, because he'd be way too powerful then. It'd break the game.
Yeah, so that's called the trample attack, apparently.
That's not what I envisioned a trample to be, but okay.
No, me neither. Metabee yells at Iki to give him some directions, because he's just standing there firing his machine gun.
I mean, he never listens to anything else. Why is he so pressed all of a sudden?
I took this as an olive branch, almost. Like, Metabee could have won on his own, but he was like, okay, Iki, be involved. I'm extending you the invitation. But Metabee's losing at first, but then Iki tells him to run away over a sand hill and then shoot Megafant from below as it crests the hill. And it works.
Yeah, that guy was bragging about how fast Megafant was on this terrain, and he's so fast he exposed his giant enemy crab weak spot.
His robo-butt.
Yeah.
So Metabee wins, Megafant explodes, and Otokoyama and Iki share an emotional hug, which I really liked. I thought that was very sweet. I think Otokoyama is my favorite character after this episode.
He's pretty good.
But even though they've bonded, the next day Otokoyama has Iki and the Screws run 500 laps, with Arika too this time.
Because they were out late at night.
Yeah, it's punishment for staying out so late.
It's the epitome of unhealthiness.
It was great. Metabee's watching from his tree, comments that doing all these laps sounds terrible. And we learn that Iki acquired Megafant's left guard part after the battle.
Has he ever equipped any of these?
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I wonder if we'll ever actually see him use any of these parts that he's... Because every episode, at the end of the episode, it's like, this week, Iki got this part. But we've never seen him use any of them.
But next week, he's still just going to use a machine gun.
Yeah. He's still just going to continue using the parts that Metabee started with. It's like, on the one hand, I get that because having Metabee equip any of these extra parts would change his design. So I can understand them not wanting to do that. But on the other hand, if they're not going to do it, why are they making such an effort to tell us about these parts he's winning each time?
Right. It could just go unspoken, but they have like a whole title card that they give us.
Yeah. We'll see. Maybe eventually. Maybe eventually he'll get to like tournaments and stuff and then he'll start using some of these parts.
He's gonna show up and it's just gonna be all shields.
What if he just collects enough parts that he can just make a second Medabot?
You'd think that would be how it works, but I guess you need the tin pet?
Yeah, the tin pet. The
skeleton?
Yeah, I guess so. I think that's...
Can you get a head?
In
or
life?
Is that part of the tin pet?
Yeah, no.
No, like if you beat your opponent's robot, can you just rip their head off?
Yes, there's 4 parts. I think it's like head, left arm, right arm, and body are the 4 different parts that you get. And each part gives a new ability to the Medabot. So, for example, when we saw that readout of all of Digmole's parts, the head was giving him the cover-up ability. One of the arms was Trap Buster, the other arm was Barrier Buster, and the body was Shovel.
Okay.
Did I write down what Megafant's ones were? No, I didn't. Yeah, okay, Megafant, the head was Trample, the arms were Left Guard and Right Guard, and the body was something called Ashy. I don't know what the heck Ashy means, though. Though I did look that up on the wiki, but the wiki didn't say anything more about it than the name. So
like ASHI?
ASSHII.
I have no idea.
No, it was written in English letters, but it was a Japanese word that I didn't know the meaning of.
No, and I think ASHI is leg, but there's 2 S's and 2 I's.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, foot, paw, arm, means of transportation. But what if we...
Oh, maybe it was means of transportation could be what it was.
But that's...
Maybe that's what was making him so fast. Well, I mean, they could have just transliterated it wrong.
True. But yeah, it's either foot or leg.
I mean, they did write...
transportation.
They did write shorvel.
True, but that's an English word, not a Japanese word.
Yeah, but they're still writing a Japanese word with English letters. Maybe they just got it wrong, like shorvel.
Maybe.
Anyway, let's talk about the dub. Play the dub theme song.
Medabots! Go get your friends. It's time to battle. Moral battle. Till you drop. More Medabots. Don't lose control. It's time to make it to the top. More power. Metaforce. Metaparts. Metafighters. Medabots. 22nd century. It's time to battle. Scarrow battle. Medabots.
I can't remember how I felt about the dub theme song before, but it's growing on me if I didn't like it.
How do you feel about the dub?
Mixed. I feel mixed about the dub. It aired on September 8th, 2001, which I feel like is way later than it should have. And they changed the title of it. It's called Running Scared, which I don't think is... I think that's a worse title.
That's even less appropriate.
Yeah, there's like no point in this. I mean, I guess they're running a lot in this episode.
But are they scared?
Maybe that one time when Otokoyama was running behind them. In the dub, Otokoyama is called Coach Mountain, and the fact that he's called a coach rather than a teacher felt kind of inaccurate to me, because in the Japanese in both versions, I guess, he's clearly teaching them more than just sports.
But like teachers can also be the coaches.
But would you
and,
call them a coach if they're more
if I
than
was
just a coach?
in their sport, If I was like, if it was a football coach and I was doing football, I would probably still call them coach in the classroom.
Okay. I guess I've never had that experience. I've never been taught by someone who was also teaching PE. Actually, I guess I was in primary school because we just had the same teacher as always for PE. Like, no matter what year we were in, there wasn't a dedicated PE teacher when I was in primary school. It was just our class's teacher would take us to the gym.
Right.
But we didn't call him coach because then we just would have been calling every teacher in the school coach.
Maybe they were all coaches. Maybe they would have preferred that.
Maybe they would. I feel like they wouldn't. I felt like he was a little bit meaner in the dub, but not significantly. It's just that, like, in the original, he's saying nice things most of the time. It's just his intensity about it that scares the kids.
Yeah.
But he's a little bit more threatening in the English version. They changed the rumors about him, which made sense, at least for, like, the shrine one, because I felt like that was quite a Japanese reference, so I can understand them changing that one.
Right.
So now he used to be a circus strongman who bench pressed elephants, and he chiseled the faces on Mount Rushmore with his bare hands.
All right.
He did still stop a volcano, but now he did it by plugging it with his butt.
Oh.
I don't know
That's
why.
a little less impressive.
Yeah.
That just kind of makes it sound like an error, like he slipped and fell into it rather than something he did on purpose.
Yeah, it made me think of that time that Homer plugged up that nuclear gas release by falling into the thing, you know?
Yeah.
For some reason, this was a weird change, but the class's average score on the test has been changed from 60 to 80. I don't know why.
I wonder. I don't know, because
Is it maybe?
I don't know what kind of.
Is it maybe is 60 considered a passing grade in America?
I was just about to ask. In America, no, that's a failing grade. I think anything below 64 is an F.
Okay, maybe that's why then.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, maybe in Japan they consider 60 a passing grade, but in America they don't. So that would
and
make
80's
sense.
like a B or a C, I forget which.
Right. The part where the Screws see Coach Mountain talking with the gangsters at the school gate, in the dub we actually hear what they're saying.
Yeah?
You'd better have the cash tonight.
I need more time.
Yeah, tonight, or else.
It felt weird that we hear that because it gives us more context.
It still keeps it shady, though. Like, it gives you enough information, but
I feel like it makes it shadier.
is that a bad thing?
I feel like at this point in the story, there's no reason to necessarily think that there's anything, you know, at this point in the story in the Japanese version, there's still a chance where you could be like, it will all be explained in the end. And there won't be anything shady going on at all.
True. Like, when we first see it, we notice that it's weird, but we don't think it's sinister yet.
Yeah.
And that kind of leads us to believe it's more sinister sooner than we would.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. You articulated it better than I did. We also hear what the Screws are saying as they chase Iki through the halls.
Yeah.
And they are shouting that it's because he made them run extra laps. And I feel like it's fine not knowing why they were chasing him, though, because it feels like that's kind of the relationship they have anyway.
I just think it was implied well enough that we don't need it spelled out for us.
Yeah. In fact, like every scene where nobody was talking originally, they've added some lines. And my absolute favorite, I burst out laughing at this one. The scene where Iki and Metabee see the coach on the street counting that money.
Yeah.
That's just silent originally. In the dub, the coach says,
I got me a fistful of dollars.
It's stupid, but I love it.
Me too. It really made me laugh.
Should make that a donation sound.
I might have to do that.
Okay, but I demand royalties for that idea.
Okay. In the dub, Erica says she was trying to film Iki and the Screws running. So I felt like it was implied she was trying to film the teacher originally, but the
Yeah.
dub is like, no, she wants to film the children being punished. And another thing that made me laugh in the dub was when Iki and the Screws are sitting on the floor at the supermarket.
We're going to go to sleep now.
He can't find us there.
Okay, that's a good change.
Yeah, I liked that one. They also added talking to Erica's film of the coach making Digmole punch the wall. And his dialogue in the recording makes it clearer that he's training Digmole to fight in that scene, which I thought was also a good change. Because
Yeah.
in the original, it's just not very clear what he's doing.
I was like, is he demolishing the school?
That
What's
was what I
happening?
thought too, yeah, because he's like punching the wall of the school and there's big cracks in it. So I was like, is
Yeah.
that what the scandal's gonna be? That he's trying to tear down the school secretly? But that did seem like a weird thing for him to be doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the dub makes it clearer that he's just training it to fight, because it's not actually a fighting Medabot, it's a construction one. So
Gotcha.
there's a lot of focus on sweat in the dub's dialogue. Every time he's training them, he's like yelling that he wants to see a different part of their body sweat. Eventually, he's like, keep those eyes open. I want to see your eyeballs sweat. And keep those mouths open. I want to see your teeth sweat and stuff like that.
Weird, but it's not like he wasn't talking about sweat in the sub.
No, and this is all leading up to the Screws theory when they find out that there is a scandal, possibly. Their theory is that he is collecting and selling their sweat. And that's how he got all the money.
That's a neutral change. I don't hate it, I don't love it.
There's a narrator, we didn't mention it, but there's a narrator in parts of the original. I think he narrates Otokoyama's iced tea, and then he narrates a couple of times about the kids being out at night. All of that narration's cut, so the kids just kind of chatter over it instead, with kind of meaningless dialogue that's just there to fill time.
Right.
Surprisingly, the drag queen part was left in, though I
Wow.
think they've just made her a woman. She tells them that they can't come in unless they're 21, and that's basically the whole conversation.
Gotcha.
The drunk guys were left in, which also kind of surprised me. The fired man is still here, but instead of being a fired man, he's a weird guy who asks them a riddle.
Okay.
It's and the reason the kids are like holding their heads and run away is because it's a very complicated riddle about trains.
I think it was funnier when they were just like blocking their ears from the adult conversation about stocks.
Me too. Me too. But also, all of the Japanese text was left in. So all of that all of that text is still there. There's just no context for it. Not that you'd, be able to read it anyway as
Right.
an English-speaking child. But if you were bilingual, if you were watching it in America, but you had Japanese parents or something, so you were able to read it, you'd be very confused.
Just a little.
The only one of the adults they bump into that is cut entirely was the final guy who just yells at them to go home.
Why?
I don't know. I would say that he was the least objectionable of the whole bunch. But
Right.
he's the one that got cut. Probably just for time. I think maybe the episode is shorter.
Need to cram in even more commercials.
Actually, maybe it isn't shorter, but they have added in like character cards for the 2 new Medabots that appear, so maybe they cut him out to make time for those.
Maybe.
The gangster underling refers to his boss as his brother in the dub, which is technically accurate to what he said in the Japanese, but it feels a lot more literal
Yeah.
in English than it did in Japanese. In Japanese, he's using aniki, and it's very clearly just the like Yakuza
Term of
respect
endearment.
thing. Yeah.
Because the little kids say that too.
That's right,
think.
yeah. But it's
Yeah.
not implied in the dub that Otokoyama is their older brother.
No, it's just like an older guy that you look up to.
Yeah. So yeah, there's stat cards for the Medabots. Megafance calls his owner Gangster, so I guess that's the character's name. And they've also renamed Trample to Iron Ball, which I think does get the idea across better.
Yeah.
The kids who run up and like are hugging on Otokoyama when he's collapsed. One of them, as they're telling the story to Iki, says,
And then this angel man fell from the heavens and said he'd build us a park.
I like that. I like that it adds more to the mythos of Otokoyama.
I like to think it's literal. I want to think that he really did just like fall down from the heavens.
And we'll never know why.
He was just jumping over a building as part of his workout. In the dub, Digmole talks, which he didn't in the original, but I could not find a voice actor. But it means that Digmole feels like he has more personality in the dub. Whereas in the original, he felt more like a tool.
Yeah.
But that's kind of true of Megafan as well. Megafan didn't say anything in either version. It means that we don't get so attached before he explodes. They changed the text on Digmole's watch readout too to fix the typos, I assume. But they also changed a couple of things that didn't need changing. So shorvel has been changed to shovel. Cover Up now says main servo for some reason. And Varia Buster has been changed to say Varispeed.
Okay.
It feels like it's less like that first one saying main servo. It makes it feel like it's just kind of listing parts of the robot rather than listing the robot's skills like it was originally. Otokoyama's list of things he was going to put in the park is slightly changed. It's not particularly significant, but I wanted to make note of it anyway. Because the English version of the character wants to build a pink hippo slide, little horsies on springs, and a swing made out of an old tractor tire.
It's so specific that it's even more endearing.
Yeah. But I do think it's sad that the tulips are gone, though.
Yeah, I miss the tulips. But I like the horsies on springs.
Yeah. Megafan's readout got changed as well. Trample is still there, but for some reason, left and right shield have been changed to left and right guard, which doesn't feel like a necessary change.
No.
Oh wait, was it the other way around? Did I reverse that?
I think you might have reversed that.
I did, yeah. Okay, so it was left and right guard originally. It's been changed to left and right shield. And Ashi has been replaced with Iron Ball. So I guess it's not Trample that was changed to Iron Ball. It was whatever Ashi is. Though I think it was
Leg.
I think it was Trample. I think that's what they were going for. They just replaced a different
Short
thing.
for leg.
And I think my least favorite change is when Iki and Otokoyama are embracing at the end. In the original, Otokoyama shouts, "You're just like me!" as they hug. And I thought that was really sweet. He doesn't say that anymore, which I think really loses something.
Oh, yeah.
Instead, he says, "I trained you well," which has a very different feel.
Yeah.
I don't like it as much. I liked it when they were hugging over a shared, feeling.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's all the changes that I noticed.
Well, that doesn't sound bad.
No, it was fine. Let's do a quick search and see if Coach Mountain appears in the Game Boy Advance game. In Medabots R, which is a PlayStation Medabots game, a character mentions that Otokoyama, the homeroom teacher from Iki's class, has moved to the mountains to study about Medabots. It's unknown if this unseen character is his counterpart in the game or only a coincidence. Well, obviously it is supposed to be the same character.
That's lame, though.
That is lame. So I guess the only legacy... I mean, any Medabots fans listening to this, let me know. In case I'm wrong, maybe he was in the game and I just couldn't find anything about him. Although I do feel like the fact that that trivia is questioning whether it's the same character or not implies that he wasn't in the games originally, and that this mention is the closest thing he's had to appearing in a game.
Right.
But that's still a legacy. That means the game still acknowledged his existence.
Yeah.
At some point.
Good.
Yeah, that is good. Hey, if they ever make more Medabots games, I hope that he appears in them.
He has to.
He's my favorite character now.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, he's great. I love him. I hope he's in the show a lot. I know he's in it more. I hope he's in it a lot.
Yeah. He's the only teacher I care about. Do they even have other teachers?
Well, he's their homeroom teacher, apparently. So
Right.
he's probably the main one that we see. I feel like at that age, you usually just have one teacher, right?
I guess. I don't know how it works in Japan.
I think it's the same. It's when you get a bit older that you start having specific teachers for specific subjects. But I think at that age, generally, your homeroom teacher is just your teacher. Well, I loved it. It was great.
Yeah, it's always a good time when we watch Medabots.
Yeah, I love this show. At some point, I need to just watch it outside of us doing this show.
No.
No, I'm not allowed. What if we watch it together outside of doing the show?
Maybe I'd let it slide.
Well, we gotta finish Columbo first.
Every season of Columbo.
Maybe not. Why did we stop watching Columbo? Because it stopped loading episodes on the perfectly legal website we were using, right?
I thought we stopped because we had come to the end of the original run.
I don't think we were quite at the end, but the next few episodes I couldn't get to work, and we just haven't tried again since.
That's true. Forgot that part.
Also, a part of it was that we were watching it while we were doing other things, and Columbo isn't really a show that you can do that with, because we kept not knowing what was going on.
I still have no idea what most of those episodes are about.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. Kind of forgot that we were still recording and doing an episode. Just started talking about Columbo.
As is your want.
Oh, I love Columbo. If I ever do get around to buying the new Tomodachi Life, Columbo's the first character I'm going to make for it.
I told you I made a Monster Hunter character that I attempted to make look like Columbo.
You
I don't
did.
think I pulled it off very successfully, but
No, it's hard. I think
It is.
I think Tomodachi Life is a better place for Columbo as well.
yeah, you don't get a lot of body diversity in Monster Hunter, and there wasn't a good Peter Falk hair.
Yeah. And some of the stuff I've seen people do in Tomodachi Life, like the new one has so much more, there's so much more freedom of expression in the character creator than there was on the 3DS.
Right.
Some of the faces I've seen.
Yeah, I saw somebody painting a Leon Kennedy face, like pixel by pixel.
Yeah, I saw somebody putting pixel by pixel copies of the PlayStation 1 face textures from Metal Gear Solid. So it's just like the exact Solid Snake face sprite on a
Right.
on a Tomodachi Life guy. I
Stupid.
think that's what it was like in was it called Miitopia? I never played that one. But I think that's how the facial customization was in that too. So they've just improved on the way making Mii's works since last I made one.
Right.
And you saw those Barman Piderman ones I found, right? That someone had made.
They were very stupid.
I didn't even know you could do that stuff.
Have the mouth come off the face.
Yeah! It was wild. Anyway,
Yeah.
thank you, as always, to the weird freaks who support this show. Natalie No, Mark Kelly, Jamie Core, and our Mesmeron, Eugene Lattig.
Thanks, freaks.
If you'd like to join them, you can head to patreon.com/superbreakfastfriendsclub, where there's a whole bunch of outtakes from the show and some bonus episodes that you can only listen to there.
In secret.
Yeah, don't tell nobody. Well, no, tell everybody. Tell them to subscribe.
Shout it from the rooftops.
Shout it from the heavens.
I always forget the last one.
Shout it at your neighbors.
That's the one.
And I think there's also shout it at random children crossing the street or something like that. We're making a Brutal Moose reference. Everybody go watch Brutal Moose on YouTube. He's my favorite guy over there.
Listen, it's not like I don't think he deserves the shout out, but we're not supposed to alert the audience to people with better content than us.
Come watch me
They'll
as
never
well.
come back.
I'm Skull Pirate Mike. Find me on Twitch. Find me on Blue Sky. Find me on YouTube if you so please.
Oh, if you dare.
I am there. Some of my old animations are there. from back when I used to be an animator.
Are no longer. You gave up the skill in exchange for some magic beans.
No, I just haven't had a chance to do it in so long.
What chance need ye?
Monetary compensation. Because it's a lot of work.
I guess.
I guess that's everything, right?
Yeah, I think we managed to squirt one out.
Bye! This whole show's recorded in your sleep.
I wish that was true. I wish I wasn't conscious for this show.